My name is Chef Yves Dechaine, and today we're in the Greeter Village's Learning Kitchen with Chris Turner. Hey Chris, how are you today?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good. So today Chris is joining me to make some smash burgers. Chris, I chose smash burgers to host with you because, you know, we both like barbecue.
Absolutely.
And I figured, you know, we can't bring barbecue. I know a lot of people barbecue outside this time of year, but you know what? Why not bring summer inside the house, and we'll do that. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with just kind of the prep for it. So when you're making smash burgers, it kind of, there's layers to it. It's not just, you can make a hamburger, and a hamburger tastes like a hamburger when you're making it in a frying pan at home, and it's exactly what we're doing right here with the smash burger, but it's the steps that build it that make the smash burger a smash burger.
Absolutely.
Right on. So what we're going to do is we have to butter our buns. So we're going to take a little bit of butter. I've got some garlic butter here, and I'm just going to really just kind of liberally put it on, and then we're just going to put it onto our cast iron pan just like that. So I'll do mine, and then I'll get you to slather yours and do that. So Chris, you're a realtor here in Fredericton, so tell me a little bit about what a realtor does.
What a realtor does. The primary, I guess when we're helping buyers, would be to find the perfect house that meets their lifestyle, fits their needs, whether it be the right amount of bedrooms or close to their work, that type of thing. And if we're selling it, it's to market it appropriately to help our vendors get the best conditions, the most amount of money, and you know what I mean, ultimately best suit their lifestyle. Like, there's so many things that have changed over the last year, where if you went from even the most basic, like the average house price last March, which was our absolute peak being $353,000, watching it drop to September almost $80,000, and then now it's back up as of last month on another $50,000. The influxes in the market have been crazy over the last little bit, so there's a lot of that realtors should be staying on top of, for sure.
Right on. So it's more than just putting a listing up and then just hoping someone bites.
Absolutely.
Right on. So what we're doing is we're toasting the buns, and what we want to do is just kind of get them nice and brown, which we have them right there. I'll get you to put them right on the plate there for me.
Certainly.
Just now, and that's the first step of making a good smash burger, is to make sure that you've got a nice crisp or crust on your buns. There we go. And then the next step really is to kind of fry up onions. Do you like fried onions, Chris?
I love fried onions.
Right on. Fried onions are, I mean, a lot of people say they're not traditional to the smash burger, but I think they are, because the smash burger kind of has multitudes of flavor, and it's kind of made in that kind of diner kind of place. So there's always onions on the grill at a diner, so that's where you get into frying your onions, so it'll always kind of taste like onions. So you kind of incorporate those onions into the burger. I
love them now, but did you always have like a taste for onions and different things like that when you were growing up?
I did, because it was always in the back end. Like, my mother would never have them, or whoever cooked never had big chunks of onions. It was always hidden away because there was family members who didn't like it. So
I get that.
We made them disappear. So as long as they couldn't feel the onion in their mouth, they were okay with it, because onion is the base of a lot of flavor and a lot of dishes. So
absolutely.
There we go. So we're going to fry these up a little bit like that, and then
perfect. I'm nailing it.
And we'll just let them go as we chat.
One of the things that got me into real estate was I was doing property management, looking after rentals, and I found it very interesting, and I enjoyed it, but I really liked the aspect of helping people find their dream home, or just, you know what I mean, a house that kind of worked for them. Was very rewarding. Okay,
so you just didn't just say, this is what I want to do. You found real estate.
Kinda. I, at a young age, kind of had the idea that I wanted to be self-employed, and you know what I mean, I wanted to work for myself, I wanted to be able to help people. There was a few distinct factors that I knew that I wanted to achieve, and I think it kind of guided me towards real estate.
Okay.
Years ago, I was a mortgage broker, so doing the financing aspect of it, which certainly lent itself to helping me in real estate, but that was where I started.
Right on, no, perfect. So the onions are browning up really, really nice now.
What
I usually do is I just kind of put them off to the side, just like this.
Okay.
And I just kind of let them do their thing. So what's going to happen now is we get our smash burgers, and we're going to do exactly that, is we're going to smash them. Okay. And then all those juices are going to run into those onions, and then it's just going to create a lot more flavor and stuff like that. So.
Perfect.
So when you're topping smash burgers, there's a traditional way to top them. I mean, you can top them any way you like them. You can put lettuce, tomato, like that whole kind of American burger look.
Yeah, yeah.
But a smash burger is really simple. So it's just like a few ingredients.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you would go to the lunch counter at any corner store. So there's a lot of corner stores a long time ago, or even in some cities where you go into and there's always like a flat top.
Right.
And burgers being sold, and there's a minimum amount of ingredients, and that's what a smash burger, they kind of originated from there.
Okay.
And then you move up from there. So it's really, really easy. You just grab ground beef. Preferably you'd want to grind your own beef, or you want to go to the butcher shop and get your own beef. We've got a pound of meat that we're going to shape into big meatballs.
Okay.
So you're looking at a 1/4 pounder burger. So today we can either make a double or just a single burger. We're going to make a single burger today.
Okay.
Just for the ease of time or whatever else, but that's what we're going to do. So we've got our onions going, so the next step really is to just form these balls, and then we're going to smash them.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of oil to this pan, and kind of work it around with some paper towel, because it will stick, but we also want that crispiness, I guess, that's all going to involve. Then we're going to put our meatballs on the pan, and we're just going to let them sit there, and I'm just going to get you to season them. And
Certainly.
I mean generously.
Generously?
So it's one of those cranks, yeah.
Yep.
So more pepper, more salt, the better, and you're going to notice that all we're using is salt and pepper.
Okay.
We're letting the ingredients shine, and that's what the simplicity of this burger.
Perfect. How long have you been cooking?
Professionally, I graduated my first culinary program in '97.
Oh, wow.
And then I went back to school because I thought that there was more that I could learn, and I ended up going to Prince Edward Island's Culinary Institute of Canada, or Holland College, I guess is what it's called now.
Right.
And I graduated in 2002. So professionally, yeah, from '97 till today. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to smash them. And to smash them, it's really easy. You just smash with your spatula. You grab something else. So it could be not your hand, another spatula. I like using my mallet.
Right.
And all I'm going to do is we're going to smash it down and then rock this back and forth, just like this. What we're doing is we're looking for crust. We want to have nice thin edges, but kind of bulbed out into the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfectly round. There we go. So you want to try your hand at that there, Chris?
This is way less aggressive than I thought it was going to be when you were saying smash burgers.
Well, yeah, well, you can be as aggressive if you want to kind of put out your frustrations, but again, there we go.
How's that?
Perfect. Now that's going to work out great. So we're going to season it some more, just like this.
Okay.
I'm going to turn the heat up on it just a little bit more, and we're going to let all these edges get nice and golden brown. So we're caramelizing it. We're pulling the umami out of it. The browning of it is
What are we pulling out of it?
umami. There's 5 flavors, right? When you eat something, it's hot, sour, salty, sweet. And the
Right.
last taste sensation is umami, which is mouthfeel. It's what the taste of mushrooms give you. It's like a fullness. It's
Okay.
what MSG creates artificially. So that's why you get that idea when you eat Chinese food and things like that you fill up and it feels like you're getting a lot, and then a half hour later, you're hungry again.
Yep.
That's basically what that is. Right now, where we're pulling out, and then we're letting the meat brown.
Right.
And that's it's a chemical reaction called a Maillard reaction.
Okay.
So you're taking the amino acids from the beef and the caramelization of the beef. It creates, and that's that crispy round. Like, have you ever had like burnt hamburger or like really crispy hamburger? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
That's that really nice caramely taste.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to pull out. That's the essence of a smash burger.
Okay.
So it looks really good now, and then all I'm going to do now is perfect. Thanks. Is just kind of flip them just like this. We get these nice lacy edges. The nice brown of the meat right here is what we're looking for. And then we will smash them again. There we go. Just like this. And you see all the juices running out now. Now all of that loveliness is going to mix up with these onions.
Umami.
Umami is right. There you go. And then all I do is I just kind of flip everything onto the burger.
Okay.
Just like this. And then now all we're going to do is we're going to top it with some cheese. Just like that. And then there we go. And we're just going to leave that for a few minutes. Turn the heat down. and let it go from there. Welcome back to Easy Eats. Again, I'm in the Greener Villages Learning Kitchen with Realtor Chris Turner. So Chris, how do you become a Realtor?
The first thing you do, there's a little course that you would do with MBCC, and it's more or less just to kind of feel you out, because it talks a lot about the industry, averages across Canada of what the realtors are doing, and for the most part, it can be quite scary to find out that a lot of realtors, most realtors are having a hard time and are not going after the big dollars, right? So you hear about the few extreme cases where there's some realtors making some crazy money, and I think when people find out that it's an average living, and I think that kind of deters a lot of people. Plus the hours you have to work, right? It's a lot of evenings and weekends. And
so is it something that you can say, I can moonlight being a realtor? Is that a possibility, or does it have to be a full-time gig?
No, so it depends on the company that you work for, but ours, for example, will allow part-time training. And that's one of the things that I've committed to as the trainer for the office, right? I run a lot of evening sessions for those who are working 9 to 5. For those who are getting licensed in real estate, I host a study group to help people kind of figure out what's going to be on the exam, what's going to be important, how to keep yourself out of court. You know what I mean? There's small little things that when you run into a situation of dual agency where you're representing both sides, what can you say, what can you not say, how do you protect everyone and still complete the transaction? So there's a lot involved that you have to be very careful of, and we kind of stress those points to the new realtors for sure.
Are you waiting until they come out of school and then you grab them, or are you like more of a prep kind of course?
So both, right? So we help people who want to get into real estate, and then whether they're going part-time or full-time, I offer multiple training sessions on how to prospect for new clients, because there's a lot of things that don't get taught in the actual course, right? And a lot of that becomes very company specific. All of the I work for Exit Realty, but all of the companies have great things about them that make it, you know what I mean, them unique, set them apart. Ours, for example, like one of the things we wanted and we saw as a need, multiple realtors and the owners were fantastic about it, but was getting actual sessions, live sessions of the things that people need to help them succeed. Nobody really finds out about the marketing dollars, what you actually have to do, the drone photography, the back end, the social media, which has become so prevalent. Like there's so many different aspects that you really have to take into account.
So all those hidden costs aren't kind of put out there?
There's a ton of costs. Like we pay E&O insurance, we pay our licenses, the Fredericton Real Estate Board, everybody ultimately. And it doesn't matter whether you're selling or not selling, those fees are still there.
What type of personality do you need to be able to be successful in your line of work?
So that is a great question. So we do a lot on actual personality profiling. We go by the DISC system for anybody who's ever heard of it. But most personality types can be successful. The things that I think we're truly looking for are somebody who has a heart for people and a mind for business, but somebody with an entrepreneurial spirit that understands that it's not a job, it's a career. You're growing your own business, so you have to get out there and really be able to figure out, where am I going to get my clients? Am I going to get up and go to work today? Because you can sit on your phone and go down the rabbit hole of YouTube and TikToks and everything else, but unless you decide that you actually want to get out, there's numerous times where I've seen people really focused on working on a Canva ad and spending 8 hours on it versus actually talking to clients, right? The biggest reason that realtors lose clients is by not communicating. So it's so important that you kind of wrap your head around that side of the business.
You mentioned the DISC system. Can you walk us through what that is?
So it's understanding different personality traits and understanding yourself and kind of how we all work together. So there's dominant personalities, there's, you know what I mean, the personality type, like the C personality would be the dot the I's, cross the T's, the I personality, which is very much, can be a bit of a squirrel personality, but they tend to be the life of the party. And we just go through, and there's so many different personality types, but how do we work together, and how do we, you know, it works in so many other aspects of your life as well, not just real estate.
You and your real estate company have put together and teamed up with us over the Christmas holidays. Absolutely. For our angel tree, and I just wanted to commend you guys for that. And what sparked that idea? What brought that on?
I kind of had in my head that I wanted to do something for kids and find a way to kind of give back. And I had phenomenal parents, but I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so that was one of those things where it kind of meant a lot to me to be able to give back. So then as we found out about the Angel Tree program, or I did, I was a little late to the game. I had pitched it to my office, and my office was all over it, right? So I had the idea, but I couldn't have done anything that we did without the support of all the realtors and the owners at Exit. Like, they were fantastic. Like Lindsay Kuglin, Samantha Bell, they did the dunk tank to help raise funds, and you know what I mean? There were so many things above and beyond, like so many realtors that took part to help us get to where we were.
So yeah, well, that's it. The dunk tank and stuff like that. What kind of initiatives or what kind of things did you guys do to raise money and help us out?
Well, unfortunately, the dunk tank was my idea, and I'm pretty sure I got everybody who participated sick. But it was fun. So that was a good one. Alex Boyd had come down, the executive director here, and he sunk me in the dunk tank. So that was good.
I did see video footage of that.
Yeah. Then we also had Rebecca West did a photography session for our clients, and it was kind of by donation, but just family photos for Christmas. Then Beth Hoyt took the reins on putting together a charity auction and a potluck in the office. Just a lot of little events that kind of created something fun and exciting for our office. That the amount of support, as they say, we are a big office, so having everybody kind of jump in, we had so many awesome people. Like, I know my team and so many of the others that I worked with were all over it. They couldn't wait to do it.
No, and I know that you guys were super excited because when I hosted you guys for a quick team build cook session,
Absolutely.
You guys were talking about Toys R Us. Talk to me about that a little bit. How did Toys R Us partner with you guys for that event?
I really wanted to also be able to teach my kids a lesson about, you know what I mean, what it's like to give back, and you know, so I had in my head that I wanted to have the kids going through Toys R Us, doing a shopping spree. So Toys R Us was good enough to let us in a few hours early, and they were very accommodating to help us kind of run that through. We had drones going through the store. We had all kinds of photography and stuff. But it was so much fun to see the kids' faces and being able to pick stuff up. Even Cheryl Zibier in my office, her adult sons were there. They're late teenager, early adult. But watching them pick out the Nerf guns, go through the Lego, and go, what would I have wanted as a kid, was so enjoyable. And then seeing, you know what I mean, like the little ones especially, and knowing that they're giving out to other kids to help was.
No, and it's an invaluable lesson, absolutely. I mean, you got to understand that people are in different situations. Like I was a lot like you. Wonderful parents. We didn't have a lot of money. Didn't realize that we didn't have a lot of money.
I didn't know I was poor,
No,
for sure.
I didn't. Until you start looking back as an adult onto those memories and going,
Absolutely.
So, and it's great. It's to teach those lessons to your kids, and I get my kids to come in and help me out as often as they can. They have an understanding. So the last couple of years with this pandemic, your business kind of exploded.
For sure.
It's crazy. Have you kind of seen it kind of even out?
That is sort of what I call the crystal ball question, right? Like, so would I have predicted that the housing market would have taken off the way it did? No. You know what I mean? And it's hard to say where it's going to end. I know that locally we have such a backlog of buyers, first-time home buyers. We're very fortunate in the fact that we are a university, a military town, so the government certainly brings a lot of people through. So we have a lot of positives in Fredericton, and there's no signs of slowing down in the market. The trends have been interesting following, because probably the beginning of last year, the trend was really to price things a little bit lower and then try to entice multiple offers, because for the sellers and working on their best behalf not trying to be greedy, but it would get them better conditions, right? So if you're representing the seller, you want them to have a cash deal. Like, you don't want a financing clause that can cause the deal to fall apart. You don't want it, like, as a representing a buyer, I always want a home inspection. Always want them. But if you're on the other side, you know what I mean? You want it to be a smooth deal, because when that initial offer comes in and you get, say, $20,000, $30,000 over ask, you don't want that deal to fall apart, because after it sits longer on the market, and if they have to take another offer, but it's been out there for 4, 5 months, even in this market, you know what I mean, 3 weeks can make a heck of a difference. Yeah. So you want the best deal possible right up front, because the sense of urgency when somebody's going, oh, I see this house, I got to get it before they get it, that's when you're going to get the best deal.
With this, I guess, trend where houses are going and sold sight unseen from people, have you seen an influx of people who want to jump into this career or into this market?
Well, there's a lot of people who certainly want to get into the career. I think this is always a career that a lot of people want to do, but not necessarily understand, right? So I think the sweet thing that you see on Instagram with people hanging sold signs and taking photos with their clients at the end of an easy transaction all looks romantic and sweet, but it's, you know what I mean, the deal fell apart twice, the water test failed, you had radon, there can be so many things that come up in the transaction that, you know what I mean, it's not always peaches and cream for sure. And that's one of the things that I've been very fortunate to build some long-term clients by helping them, like investors and different things, you know what I mean, with their best interests. So that's been good for me.
Welcome back again, Chef Yves here in Greener Village's Learning Kitchen with Chris Turner. And Chris, we're about to plate these burgers. So I am a minimalist when it comes to a hamburger. I like it plain. I like it simple, just like those lunch counter kind of burgers. You could put your lettuce, your tomatoes, your caramelized onions. You can make one of those big, thick steakhouse burgers, but a real good burger, I think, is a smash burger. So I always take just a little bit of mustard and mayo, and I kind of mix it together.
Okay.
Makes a nice base. And just like that, I grab my patty right here. There we go. Which is nice and crispy, and we've got all that nice Maillard reaction going on right there.
Umami.
Umami, right? And your umami, absolutely. There we go.
So we talked about me doing charity work, but ultimately the times that I've met you have always been through you helping somebody else yourself. So working at the community kitchens down here and all the wonderful things that the Greener Village does, right? So what got you into kind of that side of things? Because I know you also came from an executive chef job before you got into that side of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been cooking for a long time, and I've always prided myself on trying to touch every aspect of the culinary journey. So I've worked in, I'd like to say, from a Michelin star right down to the greasiest spoon. I've worked cafeterias, I've worked hospitals, and I've worked at the hotel. And my last spot was at the hotel, and I realized really quickly that I was not a hotel chef. And it really put the thing in mind into me was I was making food for people who would send it back and go, it's just too much garlic, when there's a lot of people that are just hungry out there, and they would appreciate a meal. And I was kind of gleaning the want ads and saw that the community kitchen was looking for somebody, and I thought, what a great way to give back. I still need to make a living, so they're paying me to kind of pursue a passion. And my father was always, he started the breakfast program at his school. He was a Knight of Columbus at the church, and we always did these church suppers. And we were always giving of ourselves. If someone needed something, we were the type of family that would find a way to give it to them. So I wanted to honor his memory, and I wanted to continue on doing what I'm doing. So I decided to do this, and then I was lucky enough that there was an opening here at the Greener Village, which allowed me to take then just providing a hot meal for someone, but showing them how to do it for themselves, and then being support for them throughout. So if you have a question, you can always bounce back and ask me. All right, so again, we're going back to the burgers. There's onions, there's cheese, a little bit of mustard and mayo mixed together, and then I just top with dill pickle. And as far as I'm concerned, that, my friend, is a convenience store smash burger.
It looks delicious.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Chris. Let's tuck into these burgers. And
thrilled to be here. Fresher than my newest listing. So good.